Cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Today I want to get back to a prison story. This story will start in Pelican Bay Shoe, and end up in New Folsom B facility. I've told the story of the incident before, but I want to give you a glimpse into, I guess you could say, the art of war, or how things get conducted. So, Pelican Bay Shoe. In Pelican Bay Shoe, there are several ways of communicating, right, with other sections, pods, and even at times other buildings. So, depending on which pod you're in, there's always a door there, and usually you can go to the door, you can knock on the door. There's somebody on the other side of the door on the yard in their pod, and you can talk through the door. Some buildings, it'll be, you can, when I was in C4, I believe I was in F pod C4, and we could go out to the yard and talk into the corner of the yard wall and talk to C5. That helps with communication, right? And then you also, every yard in the shoe has a drain. It rains a lot in Pelican Bay. And so there's a drain on the yard, and you can lay down on your stomach, usually take a towel out, lay the towel down, you lay down on your stomach, and you're talking into the drain. And you'll be able to talk sometimes to another building, a whole nother building, through the drain. So those are some of the ways that you can communicate to other buildings, other pods. And it's utilized every day, every time someone goes to the yard. Usually, unless they go to the yard with somebody that they don't converse with, then they're not going to utilize those forms of communication. Well, there was an incident where one of the legends for the South went out to yard, and he had went out there, and he worked out, and when he was done working out, he put his towel down, he laid on his stomach, and he went to talk in the drain. And when he went to talk in the drain, the stench of urine hit him in the face. That's an extremely, extremely, extremely disrespectful thing. But to have it happen to a legend, it wouldn't have mattered what faction it was. That disrespect goes to a whole nother level. So, on those yards, on those shoe yards in Pelican Bay, you are not to spit or urinate on those yards. That yard is for everybody in that pod. You don't disrespect it. And this individual, it was a skinhead that had gone out there. He was new. He didn't have any of his homies there to run him down. He had never been in Pelican Bay Shoe. And you know who's on the yard before. There's only 4 cells on the bottom, 4 cells on top. When you're gonna come in, you usually, out of respect, if I'm gonna go out and I know I'm only gonna be out there 45 minutes, I'm gonna let my neighbor know after we sign up for yard in the morning. Hey, homie, I'm only gonna be about 45 minutes. He'll say, all right, cool. He's the one that's gonna call you in. 5 minutes before, he'll call you. Hey, you still coming in? Yeah, all right, homie, you got 5 minutes. Okay, cool, gracias. So it was known who actually pissed or urinated in the drain. So the legend had somebody ask the skinhead if he had urinated in the drain, and he said, yeah, I did. So what? Why? And so they were like, okay, maybe he's just stupid. He obviously doesn't know where he is. It doesn't know what time it is. And when they tried to talk to him, when the porter came out, and it happened to be a raza from Southern California, tried to go and converse with this individual, he basically said, listen, man, your rules are for you. I'm a skinhead. I do whatever I want to do. Don't come over here with your rules. So it was like, okay. So that message was taken back to the legend. And he said, okay, cool. And so everybody in the pod knew, as far as the Southerners, raza from Southern California, if you get on the tier, try to kill this dude. He got green lighted. So he was able to finish out his shoe term without anybody getting to him. It's a little bit surprising that they didn't hit him with darts, spear him. But I think the legend was so pissed off that he didn't want it to happen like that. He wanted him to either get killed in the shoe or wait till he gets out of the shoe and have it dealt with out there. In other occasions, they will just, when a guy comes out for a shower or something, they'll hit him with spears, darts, whatever. So this guy gets put up for transfer. And his transfer is to New Folsom. There was another individual, same pod, put up for transfer, and he was Southern Raza. He was put up for transfer to New Folsom. So he's going to be on the same bus with him. So obviously, word went. They both landed on B facility in New Folsom. And I want to say this was about 2003, somewhere around there. They got there, and for some reason, they were running concrete yard for people over there on B facility at the time. I don't remember what was going on. I was on C facility at the time. And the raza that had came down with him let who he needed to let know, hey, this is what time it is with this cat. He got to go. Now, I don't know if the leadership there wasn't aware or I don't know. But there was a horrible call made. And the call was, get at the whites, explain to them what he did, and ask them to deal with the issue so that we don't have to bump heads. But anybody who knows, skinheads will not hit a white man for another race. I've never seen it happen like that. Woods will. Skins won't. And so they approached them and, rightfully so. They said, yeah, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. And they turned around and they rushed all the Southerners that were on that concrete yard. It went down, right? The incident jumped off. Boom. They got into it. I don't remember exactly how many days, if exactly the next day, but right after that, the cops start popping doors. And it was all Southern Mexicans, Southern Raza, right? You got a package. Hey, you got a package. So they start telling these guys they have packages. They come down. And when you have a package coming, whether it's from your lady, from, your mom, your tia, your kids, whoever it is, you know about it. You ordered exactly what you wanted and sent them the package for them, and they ordered it for you, right? So you know if you have a package coming or not. And out of the dudes, I want to say it was 9 of them that they popped out. It was 9 or 12. I can't remember. I can't remember the exact number. It's irrelevant, really. They popped them out. But it was a few of them knew, hey, I didn't order a package. So they started telling the other homies, like, hey, homies, I think the Judas are going to jack us up. I didn't order a package, homies. The other homies like, yeah, me neither, eh? Something ain't right. So in a situation like that, a lot of times dudes will think, okay, They might potty watch us. They might, but you're not gonna want to have a knife on you. You don't know what this is, right? So then the cops start cuffing them. And anybody that's been in New Folsom, the package window or property window is on the yard right there by the program office. So being handcuffed to go get your package on the yard doesn't make sense. So that was an alarm from like, oh shit. But it kind of reinforces that these Judas might be jacking us up, right? And as dudes were getting cuffed up and they were stepping out of the section and going towards the yard door, they could see that there was a bunch of white inmates on the yard unhandcuffed. Then they knew. So they start whispering, hey, look out the window. They look and they're like, órale, these fucking Judas are setting us up. They cuffed up all the Southerners. The yard door opens. They start going on the escort. Once all of them were out there, the whites, and it was Skinheads and Woods together, they pulled out their knives and they attacked the Southerners that were in the handcuffs. Only one Southerner was able to get out of his cuffs. He was able to slide out of his cuffs. I don't remember his name, but he was from Pomona. If I remember right, he was from Pomona. He was able to get a rock, and he bashed one dude in the face. That's the only white dude that got injured that day. The whites did a hell of a job. They hit everybody, and they hit one dude pretty bad, right? That yard went to war. Whites and Southerners went to war. That facility, right? B yard. But here's the thing I want you guys to understand. This is the part of the story where, see those initial guys that got off, that did that thing, just about every one of them was cuffed up and sent to Ad Seg and then the SHU. So nobody was able to retaliate at that time. See, prison is different, as we know, as you have an inkling, an idea. As soon as that incident occurred and the raza went to the back, to the hole, immediately they shot kites to us on C facility. Every white that was involved, where they were from, first name, last name, where they were from, whether they were Skinhead or Wood. If they had a distinct mole by their eye or something, it was written down. Tattoos, scars, it's all written down on the paper. And it went to C facility. And then when you're in Ad Seg, you're waiting, you're listening. Then he goes to, they go, each individual one. They were marked for life. They were marked for death. So this is why, a couple years ago, there was that whole story that came out, and it was that Big U had knocked out 32 Southerners in a riot, which wasn't true. He wasn't even in that prison that people were saying he did it at. He's never been there. And so we had that story, and then we had the ones where I talked about the two Samoans. Great video. Check out the two Samoans video I did and how it followed them. See, the thing with Big U never happened. But had it happened, it would have been the same as it was with those white men that did that in New Folsom, and those two Samoans, one had done what he did in High Desert State Prison, the other in Corcoran SHU. If you hurt people in self-defense, it's understood. If you go on the offensive, for your group and perform well, that's understood. But if you continue, then that group, at least the Southern Raza, is going to say, okay. And they're going to take note. And as I just explained to you, your first name, your last name, where you're from, identifying tattoos, identifying scars, birthmarks, whatever, it's all going on a piece of paper. It's all going in a huila. People, when I'd say with you, they're listening because you've already been marked. They're listening. When they come and they tell you, hey, pack your shit, eh? Pack your shit. No, they're not going to say, hey. They're going to say, pack your shit. Where am I going? You're going to New Folsom. You're going to High Desert. You're going to Sad F. Wherever you're going, people were listening. Southern Raza and Northern Raza, the communication that they have throughout the state, it's very well known. You tangle with those groups, wherever you land, they already knew you were coming. It's a trip. So that's my video for today. Whatever happened to every one of those white dudes, if you're wondering, I couldn't call it. I don't know the story. I know some of them went into protective custody because they knew, they had heard, like, there's no fixing it. The majority of them didn't. I think it was only one for sure. I think two. But I know wherever they landed, it was going to have to go down. But that's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, right? I'm out of here.